Police departments across the state are quite literally wrestling with a growing problem. Advances in DNA technology now require officers to keep evidence for 20, 30, even 50 years. As Fox 11's Lindsay Veramis takes a closer look, for some departments in the Fox Valley, evidence rooms are just a crime away from overflow.
Ask any officer to name a valuable crime-fighting tool, and DNA surely makes the list. But that same tool has local departments scrambling for space.
I mean, you can see the number of swabs that we have here.
The biological evidence they need comes in many forms.
Sometimes those are large things. We talked about cars being a large item of evidence. It may be a couch. Imagine making room for a couch for the next 30 years in your evidence room.
Neenah Police Chief Kevin Wilkinson says for criminal cases, police are required to keep anything with biological evidence until appeals are exhausted.
There's a vehicle in there.
And a sentence fully served.
So if somebody is 20 years old and gets a 50-year sentence, we have to hold on to that evidence until they either pass away or until their 50-year sentence is up.
The law has been on the books in Wisconsin since 2005, but its repercussions are just now catching up with local departments.
When it first came into being, we all in law enforcement said, oh boy, this is going to bring about some real challenges for us, but we knew it wouldn't be immediate.
Wilkinson says in the past police would routinely purge evidence they didn't think they'd need. But with DNA convicting and exonerating suspects in cold cases, it's no longer an option.
The courts said, that's too important, don't destroy the evidence.
DNA recently helped convict Thomas Neeson in the 1976 slaying of Kathleen Leichtman in Fond du Lac.
Absolutely. It broke the case.
District Attorney Dan Kaminsky says because police preserved evidence, modern technology was able to place Neeson at the scene.
The case had been around for 30 years and investigators had followed every potential lead known, and it did not lead to the identification of a viable suspect.
That's a great benefit to law enforcement in solving crimes.
Wilkinson says New London, his previous department, is storing an entire living room from a violent, unsolved homicide.
You can pull this gate across.
While Neenah has several cars indefinitely, and other evidence chipping away at the station garage.
We're getting to the point now, especially with vehicles, where we're really starting to be challenged.
We just got a new building that was completed this year.
Ballooning evidence was also a primary reason the city of Appleton remodeled and expanded its facility.
Things started filling up at an exponential rate. You weren't adding the same number of pieces of evidence every year. It was really growing by leaps and bounds. And a lot of that was just due to stuff that you didn't necessarily see coming.
In the short term, officers plan to work creatively with what they have, using racking systems or collapsible storage.
We're able to add more of these racks onto this track system that you see here.
Police are also hoping to better communicate with district attorneys to figure out what can be tossed once evidence has made its way through the entire process.
But I don't think that's going to be enough. That's just going to hold things off for a little bit for us.
Long-term, Wilkinson says departments will need to expand, use secure locked trailers, or even move into other city buildings.
We've had some discussions about even doing something regionally multi-jurisdictional storage facility for evidence.
It's not really an option. I mean, we have to preserve it. Everybody understands that.
Now they just need to figure out how. In Neenah, Lindsay Veramis, Fox 11 News.